Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. What's up, folks? What is good? Good evening, everybody out there. Happy Thursday to you.
Yes,
Them
sir.
Tennessee Titans.
Yes,
Want to play the Houston Texans, man, Jacques?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Happy Texans week.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, man. So, let's see before we get started. Let's see who's in the comment section, Jacques. Who we got in there, man? We got 9 people already joining in. We got people that already started making comments before we started, man. Who we got in here, man?
Let's go down the line. Hey, salute to Thomas Silverback Marquez. Word is the king will be back early January. Oh, please let it be the truth. We'll talk about that later. But hey, salute to you and thank you for watching the show, brother.
Yes,
Ryan Dodd, hey, salute. Sean, hey, welcome.
welcome.
Hey, what about Rob? What up? Salute.
What up, Rob?
Salute. Hey, Clowny Super Bowl. Hey, salute. We wish it was a Clowny Super Bowl.
We got Ken in the building. We got him in the building.
Hey, we got him waiting. He coming. He's sizzling up in the back.
That's right, man.
Keisha, how you doing?
What's up, Keisha? Tighten up to you, ma'am.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, what's happening?
Salute. Jeremiah.
What's good?
Hey,
Jeremiah.
What's up? Latoya. Tighten up.
Latoya P. What's going on, man? What's happening?
Hey, Pig Weekly. Shout out to you. Shout out. Ed Champ. Hey, shout out. Hey, we got a super chat from Jakey on with $1.99.
Super chat.
He says,
yes, sir.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
Boom.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, sir. Super chat. Thank you kindly. Appreciate that. Sean Vanderhall, what's popping, bro?
Salute. Tighten up. Hey, salute. Ricky Rich.
Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Yeah, man. So the Tennessee Titans, man, we play the Houston Texans. And so without further ado, what we want to do now, we want to bring on our special guest. This guy here, man, hey, he's awesome. If you have not checked out his show, man, you got to check him out, man. He's on Instagram. He's on YouTube. He's on Twitter. And this guy does big things. He's not just on the podcast. I mean, this guy is on ESPN. He does games. I mean, this guy here, Ken Moore, man, this guy here, dude is real, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, check him out.
Salute to Ken, man. Like you said, he did a great game. I think it was Alcorn State versus TSU, man. It was pretty solid, man. So shout out to Ken. Hey, Ken is here in the building. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's talk football with Ken, man.
What's good, bro? What's happening, brother?
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
We're good, man. Doing well, brother. Doing well, man. Doing good, man.
I've been waiting a long time to chop it up with you fellas.
Hey, it has,
sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man.
I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the invite for sure.
Yes, sir. Definitely,
man. It has been a long time coming. Hey, this has been cooking in the background for the longest. It's just, I don't know what's happening. It's just, it's happening now. So, hey, it's good to be here. How do you hear, Ken? Man, we really appreciate it, brother, for you coming on the show.
That's right, Ken.
No problem, man. Hey, better late than never, man. Better late than never.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. Well, Ken, do you want to, break down, man, you know what I'm saying, your show and podcast and anything that you want to talk about, man? Again, at K Moore Sports. If you have not subscribed, do that right now. Go to it. The link will be in our profile as well. Click on it, man. Ken, anything you like to say before we start?
Hey, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate the love. Yeah, definitely go check out the channel. I've been kind of vacant on the channel for the last month or so because I've been grinding hard with ESPN, doing these SWAC football games. Google SWAC football as well, man, because I'm doing TSU, Alcorn, Jackson State, all the big games in the SWAC, Coach Prime, Coach Fred McNair, all those guys in the SWAC. So I've been hitting the SWAC hard. Probably my last game of the season's coming up this weekend. We got TSU and Alabama State. That'll be 2:00 on ESPN Plus. So check us out on ESPN Plus if you can do that. And then, of course, my Titans podcast, Titans the Day After. Once I'm done with college, I'll be back on the grind for December and January and hopefully into February with the Titans. I do my show typically on Monday nights, the day after the Sunday game, and then I'll do a show on Sunday mornings, the preview. So that will be coming back in December. And of course, you guys can follow me on Twitter at KMore Sports. My YouTube is at KMore Sports, and then on Instagram at Kenmore Sports. So there you go. That's where you can hit me up.
Good stuff, man. So Ken, real quick. So I've been to Houston many times, man, and I'm in a fraternity, and my line brother lives in Houston. Been to Houston many times, and so when you say TSU, we're from Nashville. It's always a rival between Tennessee State and Texas Southern.
My alma mater, man.
It's always been like that. You know what I mean?
Has.
It really has. That's hilarious.
We call it the real TSU. Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah,
Big Blue, baby.
Texas Southern Tigers, baby. Texas Southern Tigers.
That's all right, man.
Yeah, no.
That's
right.
I
got love for Tennessee State. Eddie George doing his thing, man. Eddie George doing his thing.
That's right, man.
Of course, they got the quarterback came from Grambling, Higginbottom. I heard he's doing big things with Tennessee State right now.
Yep.
So,
cool,
good shout out to them. No doubt.
Yep. So, well, cool. Hey, somebody asked which frat in Tally. I'm an Alpha Phi Alpha, man. You know what I'm saying? 06. Okay. Yep. Been in since the 90s, man. So, yep. So cool, man. All right. In Tally, Tennessee State is the real TSU. That's
there you go. He know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So these Houston Texans boys, man. Okay. As you all know, honestly, y'all, to be honest, I'm not trying to sleep on Houston at all. I'm a humble person at the start, but I will say the Houston Texans have only won one game. Okay, that's it. Y'all see that one? This is game 11, and they've only won one game. Now, Ken Moore, I know you live in the H-Town and everything, so you have a good understanding of what's going on in Houston and things like that. So I want to ask these questions because I've done a lot of studying on the Houston Texans, trying to figure out like the positives. I hadn't seen much, just to be honest with you, but it's a few things I see that they do well. But we'll discuss. We'll see if we all sort of see the same thing. So, Ken, I want to ask you first, man, and those in the comment section as well. We always appreciate the participation. Hit that like button. Make sure to hit that like button. If you have not subscribed, hit that as well, too. In Tally, what's up, Fred? Okay, good stuff, bro. He commented. All right, that's what I'm talking about, brother. So, Ken, question for you. So, the Titans are coming in, the number one seed in the AFC. The Texans are in last place. So, what are some of the reasons you feel that the Tennessee Titans could beat the Houston Texans?
Man, I mean, we're just a deeper football team. We're a better coached football team than the Texans. The Texans, they have one weapon that you have to worry about, in my opinion, and that's Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is one of the best receivers in the AFC when he's healthy and on point, and when he has a quarterback that can get him the ball, he can be very dangerous. And we know sometimes – our secondary can still be a little suspect at times. Yeah. But other than Brandon Cooks, I mean, this game should not be a concern for anyone. Yes, it's a division game. Yes, you always have to be concerned with that. Tyrod Taylor is a decent quarterback. He struggled against Miami in his first game coming back, but they are coming off a bye week. So, that gives them a couple of weeks to prepare for us. And then obviously we have a lot of injury concerns still going into this ball game. So that would give Houston some confidence that they have the quarterback back. They have Brandon Cooks available. They've had 2 weeks worth of rest. Other than that, if the Titans somehow find a way to lose this game, this would be worse than losing to the Jets. Mm-hmm. I personally would have to leave the city of Houston and come reside with one of you guys because it would not be pretty for me down here because I talk a lot of noise and I talk a lot of crap to my Texan friends. Yeah. So they've been quiet. They've been church mouse all year. But if somehow they rose up and won this game, it would be hard on your boy, man.
Yeah, I understand, man. Dude, those are great points, man. You know what I mean? And again, you live there. You know what the Texans are about, man. So that gives super insight on the Houston Texans that a lot of people might not know about because it's a team that a lot of people don't watch this year because, again, they've only won one game. So you're not going to – who wants to watch a Houston Texans game right now? You know what I mean? So Jacques, What about for you, man? What are some reasons you feel that we can beat the Houston Texans?
Hey, Ken, like you said, brought up some excellent points. But one point I want to take away from him is coaching. The Titans are the best, well-coached team in the NFL right now, hands down. I mean, your injury reserve is as long as a receipt that you shop on Christmas, right? Injuries here, there. You're still winning without Derrick Henry. You're 2-0. Yes, we know our history, as Sean iterated in this chat right here, where he's saying, know how our history goes for us, Titans, we might lose this game. But I feel like we've overcome that particular part of our game. And I think the Jets proved us a humble loss to the point where, hey, we don't want to feel this again, right? Especially the no Texas team. We don't want to be like the Bills who lost to the Jags, okay? And I'm not saying the Jags are horrible. I think they're better than the Texans defensively. But I just feel like the Texans are not the team of yesteryear. And the new Texans team is a team you should be able to handle. I know Miami's been struggling this year, but Miami was able to handle them very well. I feel like this game, the way you can beat the Texans is, I think offensively, you'll have a better showing this game than you had in the past two games. The Rams game without Henry, we struggled. The previous game on Sunday, we opened up the offense a little bit, but I think the Texans defense doesn't really present a big deal like the Saints and the Rams and like we've seen in the past couple of weeks. Their defense is I think ranked 32. Correct me if I'm wrong. What is the fact?
They're in last place on defense.
They're ranked 32. So offensively, Todd Downing should take advantage of this opportunity that you have, especially in the run game. Deontay Foreman should really have a fun day on Sunday against his old team. He literally should go off. AP should too. So this will get you some good looks and some good things where the offensive line can get some confidence again, because they've been struggling this year with blocking. Their pass rush is not good either. So with their pass rush not being good and a top-notch pass rush, our offensive line should be able to hold their blocks for at least a couple of seconds where Tannehill can look through it and go through his progressions easily than he has been able to do this Sunday and the previous Sunday prior to that. Defensively, we go on the defensive side of the ball. Yes, Tyrod Taylor is coming back, but he's not the Tyrod Taylor of yesteryear, right? He roll out that pocket, he runs the risk of messing his hamstring up for the 15,000th time, right?
Right.
Their offensive line is not strong. I know they got Landry Tunsil, but he's okay. So with our pass rush we have on defense, we can get to Tyrod. It should be an easy day. So, man, I years past, maybe I would be worried about games like this, but going into Sunday, it's not going to be easy. No game is easy in the NFL. It's an NFL game. But in this particular game with Houston, I feel like the Titans struggle on offense against good defenses, and the Houston Texans doesn't have a good defense. So I think you'll see a different team Sunday than you have in the past couple of weeks. It'll kind of be a breath of fresh air to get something a little bit easier, and then we got to go in and ultimately play the Patriots. So that's how we can win the game. What about you, Hawk?
Jacques, those are great points. I mean, it's hard to follow both of y'all. I mean, those are y'all seeded through. And, before I answer, I want to say what up to everybody here in the chat. Titan Rob, what's good, man? It might be closer to what you think. Okay. Keisha, I can't wait. To our bye week, definitely. We need a bye.
We all need a break.
We all need a break. Yeah, that's Big Wickle right here. Divisional game. No way we don't go. That is true. That's true. Big old Titan, what's good, bro? Tighten up, gentlemen. He said, what's up, Ken? What's good with you, Ken? All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, who else we got here? We got Jake J. We got LP in the building. LP.
Tighten up.
All right, Jake J. There's LP. Tighten up, LP. All right, so this is what I look at for this game, man. So I've watched a lot of tapes and film on the Houston Texans, and I've shared this with Jacques even a few weeks ago when we were looking at the Rams game, right? Because we was about to play the Rams, and I said, well, might as well look at the Rams and Texans game. Boy, the Texans defense is terrible, okay? They don't tackle. They can't cover. They're all over the place. And what's disturbing if I'm a Houston Texan fan is the fact even on offense they can't score. They're having games of no points, 9 points, 3 points. If you look at all the games they've had, they're not even scoring over 10. They're the worst offensive scoring team in the NFL. They only average 13 points a game, okay? And they have the worst defense in the league, okay? Now, I'm not sitting there saying this is a cakewalk, right? And again, they get paid just like the Titans do. So I'm not sleeping on them, right? I'm not going to sit there and be like, this is nothing. But at the end of the day, they are in last place, okay, in almost every single category. And when I look at the definition of last, it says coming after all others in time of order, final, right? Most recent in time, latest, right? That's the Houston Texan logo should be on that definition, okay? For us, this is a game of comeback for a lot of players. We have faced some tough defenses, okay? The Saints defense was no joke. Okay, and we gave them a lot of respect, a lot of props on our last show. Okay, the Rams have a very good defense too. But Jock, you said it's like I agree. The Saints are a better defense than the Rams, no question about that. We just played the #1 rush defense in the NFL. Now we're about to play the 32nd rush defense in the NFL. A total flip over. So players like Deontay Foreman, Adrian Peterson should be makeup games for them. Like, okay, we got to get our mojo back. Our mojo's been a little down because we're playing against some really good defenses. AJ Brown getting his mojo back, getting his mental together, right? Against a team that's terrible. They lost Vernon Hargraves. I don't know what happened there or whatever. They just have a bunch of dudes right now in the defensive backfield right now. When I was looking at their corner play, I was like, I know about Desmond King, the former Titan. You know what I'm saying? He's there with them. But if Desmond King is your CB1, that's not saying a lot. And I like Desmond King, but he's not your CB1, right? He's not the guy, okay, you should just, cover the best receiver. You got Terrence Marshall out there, Eric Murray, Justin Reed, so. So this should be a game that every offensive player should have a great game. On defense, this should be one of those games all the defensive linemen should be like, oh, man, I'm about to get me a sack. I ain't had a sack in 3 weeks. I'm about to get me a sack, right? Every defensive lineman on our team should get a sack. The Houston Texans rank 30th in the league in offensive pass blocking. They're terrible. They're in every category. They're almost in last place in every offensive and defensive category. It's kind of rare to see that, okay? It's not a good football team. I would be shocked if we lost to the Texans. I would, man, our post game, oh, my God.
No, bro. I mean, it shouldn't even be a one-possession game. Like in the fourth quarter, the game should not even be in doubt. And
that's
both
right.
You guys brought up some great points about Deontay Foreman, who's a Houston native.
Yes.
Adrian Peterson, who's a Houston
native. That's right.
Both of those guys live here. Both of these guys are from here.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Adrian Peterson's stepbrother, I cover his high school team. So, yeah, Oak Ridge High School here in Houston. He's a sophomore. Tremendous kid. Wow. He's going to be a great talent. He plays safety now. So keep an eye out for him. But yeah, both of these running backs should have a good game. But like you guys mentioned, the offensive line is going to have to do a better job because Derrick Henry made up for a lot of flaws in the offensive line in yards after contact.
Yes.
He led the league in yards after contact. A lot of Colts fans are chirping right now about Jonathan Taylor being the best running back.
I've heard that too.
Because he has the same amount of yards as Derrick Henry, but on 60 less carries. But that's not Derrick Henry's fault. That's the offensive line's fault.
That's right.
And we've seen Adrian Peterson, at least I've noticed that Peterson is hitting the hole hard, but he's almost hitting the hole too hard. He's hitting the hole too quick. He's not letting the holes develop, and he's running into the back of his offensive lineman.
That's true.
He's running into his tight ends when you watch him run. Foreman, he's been in our system before. He's more smooth getting to the line of scrimmage. And then he's a big kid, so obviously he can break tackles if he gets to the second level. But both of those guys are going to have to eat this weekend. But I'm really looking for that offensive line, Roger Saffold, Ben Jones, another former Houston Texan. I don't know if Nate Davis is going to play because he's suffering from concussion issues again. So you may have Aaron Brewer. You may have Redunce get in there. Hopefully he can start to play some a little bit. So that offensive line, they need a good game because after that, you got them Patriots who's on right now. So you got another tough game in a week or two.
That's right, Ken. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Hit that like button, folks.
Yes,
sir. Hit that like button. We got 40 people in the chat. What's up, y'all? What is good?
Brian. Shout out to Brian G, man. Tighten up, bro.
Tighten up.
Rob, tighten up. Hey, Mark, you right. Hey, Foreman revenge game. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Anthony Hayes says, "Fam, you in the
Fam,
house?
you in the house. Okay.
HBCU Central. Let's go, baby. I
Yes,
see
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hey, I missed them Atlanta Classic days, Anthony, when State and Fam used to play back in the day, man. So, hey, salute. If you ain't never go to that, y'all should have, man. It was fun. It was fun times. Definitely fun times.
I did the FAMU game last week, man.
Hey,
they got a good squad. They got a good squad. My boy Willie Simmons is the head coach, and he's doing big things over there.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. The athletic director there, I know very, very well too, man. He went to college up where I'm at, man. So that's small world, as they say.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Right.
Yeah,
so,
man.
We're gonna get into the next segment here. So Hawk asks how we can win the game. Ken, I'm gonna come to you. Is there a way we can lose the game? I know we playing the Texans. 32.
Yeah. Lose the game? Lose the game? What? What?
Oh, man.
Playoffs? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
man. Look hey, the way we can lose the game, our quarterback needs to take care of the football, man. Quarterback needs to take care of the football.
That's right.
Tannehill's got to quit throwing those picks, bro. He got bailed out last week on a bad call. He got bailed out on a bad call at the end of the half.
Facts.
He's got to quit throwing picks, bro. So you got to take care of the football. If you're Ryan Tannehill, I would expect, the Texans to dial up some blitzes to come after him, to try to put some pressure on that offensive line, try to rattle Tannehill a little bit. Obviously, the special teams have been very, very good this year, but you can't have a block kick. You can't fumble the ball on special teams, give the Texans a short field. You can't make those type of mental mistakes that causes good teams to lose to bad teams. So as long as you avoid the mental mistakes in the ball game, you should be fine. But the way you can lose a football game like this, you go out there and turn the football over 3 or 4 times, then you got yourself a dogfight in the fourth quarter and anything can happen.
Right. Great points, Ken. Great points. What about you, Hawk?
Wow. Damn. Tannehill does need to, because let me tell you the problem I have, Kim, with Tannehill, man.
Up, man. He got to tighten up.
He do.
Yeah, he does got it. That is a fact. Tannehill's going to throw an interception. He's got, and it's almost like he has to get it out the way, and it's been early in the game. And we play against really good teams, that's going to be hard to roll with that. You know what I'm saying? But he's been doing that every game, an early interception. And like you said, he was bailed out this game because on the end of his stat line, it shows 0 interceptions, but he did throw a pick. It was just turnover because of a penalty. So I agree with that. For me, this is the thing that I think about us. It's underestimating Tyrod Taylor, okay? Now, we don't know what Tyrod Taylor you're going to get. Now I know Houston Texans fans, there's any Texan fans in the chat, man, say Texan up or something. I don't know, man. But I know you guys are really sick because Houston used to have some of the best talent in the NFL. You remember these guys? You remember those dudes? Deshaun, you know what I'm saying? You see D-Hop, you see Will Fuller, you see J.J. Watt. I mean, Houston used to give us problems. And there have been the games I've been to in Nashville watching them play. I would tell Jacques, hey, man, Deshaun Watson's really good, bro. I seen it live in color. D-Hop's unbelievable. We can't stop him, right? And over the years, I've seen J.J. Watt destroying our linemen, killing our quarterbacks. He hurt Zach Mettenberger and Jake Locker. It was him, right? So Tyrod Taylor.
Games,
yes, man. Yeah, man.
Those games at NRG. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that was some tough times for your boy, man.
Man.
Those were the rough days, man.
Yes, definitely. But Tyrod Taylor, I feel bad for him because, with the Chargers, he had an opportunity and he got stabbed in the lung or something, with a needle, and it put him on the sideline, right? He's had some unfortunate things. But Tyrod Taylor in his career, he's a winning quarterback. He's had more wins than losses, right? He even made the Buffalo Bills go to the playoffs. So what he does very well that we haven't seen over the past 4 games is he can run the football at quarterback, okay? He's really good running out, scrambling on the outside. And some of the film I've seen of him early, he was doing that. Now, he hasn't been playing of late because of Davis Mills. The quarterback has been out there. But he's going to be back on the field. And like you said, Jacques, the problem with him, he's had a lot of injuries, hamstrings at that in particular. Oh, we got a super chat.
Hey.
Solomon, Naminga, what's good, bro? What's happening?
Salute. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
Appreciate that, man. Ooh, Woo! Appreciate the super
it,
chat, man. Thank you kindly, brother. As we always say, man. Thank you for the super chat, man. So keep Tyrod Taylor in the box. Let him throw the ball. Now, if he runs, hit him because he's amped to kind of start limping a little bit, and that changes the whole dynamics of the game. And I would prefer, what's his name? David Mills. I'd rather have him on the field. I'd rather have this guy on the field than Tyrod Taylor. I think
I never trust a guy with two last names, man.
I got you, man. Well, but I think that's the only way the Houston Texans beat us. I'd like your point about Brandon Cooks. He's a problem now, but somebody's got to give him the football, and that could be Tyrod Taylor if they're blocking well. So just be careful of Tyrod. Don't let him become Buffalo Bills Tyrod. Keep him as the Houston Texan Tyrod. So, yep. What about you, Jacques? I got to hear this. I got to hear what you feel on this one too, man.
So, self-infliction. So, I was at the game Sunday when we were playing the Saints, and the Titans had control of the game on defense. They were doing pretty good in getting to Trevor Siemian earlier. But the problem is that second half came around, and we've seen what the Titans have been doing in the second half of late. They've stalled out in the second half. We've seen it in the Kansas City game. You kind of seen it in the Saints game. You've seen it in the Saints game as well. When I'm at the games, I'm looking at like, okay, hey, it's time to put it away. Shout out to Big Mike, because Mike, he's my buddy that goes to the games with me. He always said, man, the Titans don't have that dog. When we need to put them away, we need to put them away. We never put them away. We always keep them in the game. It always comes to a nail biter. We can never just punch him in the mouth. I think we did it once this year when we played the Jags. He punched him in the mouth, and that was still a sloppy game, right? Yeah. I think if you self-inflicting wounds, right? Mm-hmm. If the plays come out flat, I know it's supposed to rain Sunday. I don't think everybody knows that, right? It's supposed to be a gloomy day, raining. So coming out flat, letting them get the energy. If you don't have the energy, if you're moping, if it's just a flat game, I can see the Titans losing this game, coming in and saying, hey, underestimating the Texans, reverting back to what the Titans used to be. Because, these games, particularly in years past, we would lose games like this. You would be like, oh, we got this. And all of a sudden, it's 38-38 in the fourth quarter. And you're like, okay, how did we get here, right?
Exactly, right. Yes.
How did we get here? Like, we're literally asking the whole time, like, okay, what happened? What happened, right? So in this game, you don't have the king, right? You don't have Julio. You might, like you said, Ken, you might not have Nate Davis. I did see him on the injury report today with a concussion. You might not have Bud Dupree, because I know Bud Dupree is hurt, right? So you're missing people. You're missing people again, but we're battle tested to the point where we're used to this now. But the ways we can lose this game, come out flat if you want to, and you let the Texans get the energy and get them some momentum. It's going to be a long day. And let Chris Jackson have another bad game, right? Jack Rabbit have another bad game. You're letting Brandon Cooks run wild, right? Because we know how Brandon Cooks likes to be. He's a sneaky player. You let the offensive line not block. Go right ahead. Like somebody said in the comment section, I think a defensive tackle or an end has 7 sacks for the Houston Texans this year. Hey, let them run wild. Let them be flat and let them come out and not play with their energy. And also let the coaching go to coaching. The coaching, if you don't coach a good game with this, you come out and lose this game. So it's a lose. Let me say this. I say this all the time. It wouldn't surprise me if the Titans win this game, and it doesn't surprise me if they lose it. We shouldn't lose the game, but it just never surprises me with this team. So that's my ways that we can lose this game. Come out flat if you want to. All right, we're gonna be the laughing stock, and then the ESPN, Keyshawn and Johnson and them will literally will prove their point.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, yep. I mean, you're done in the media for the rest of the season until the playoffs start.
Yes.
You lose this game. And
that's a fact.
Think about it. If you lose this game, then that Patriot game next week, all of a sudden, is for the number 1 seed.
That's right.
Because they have 4 losses, then we would have 3. We go to New England and lose, then New England jumps us in the standings because all of a sudden they have home field advantage.
That's
right.
And
then you don't want to go into the bye on a 2-game losing streak.
That's right.
So this is a critical game. Mm-hmm. It's a division game. It's a home game. Yeah, it's against the second worst team in the league, next probably to Detroit. Yep. But, man, you just cannot find a way. You can't look up at the end of the first quarter and, we're down 10-3 or
exactly
we're down
right.
12-7 or, something like that because you've made some boneheaded plays. So I think this team is focused, though. We talked about coaching in the beginning of the ball game, beginning of the show. And I think Vrabel has done a great job and keeping the focus with this team. You got to give a shout out to Todd Downing. I think he's done a heck of a job with all the pressure that he was under early in the season, because I was one of the guys that were on him. And I honestly think that Jim Schwartz in the background has been the architect of this defense.
Yes.
Because prior to Jim Schwartz, we were running a traditional 3-4 defense. Now we're running more of what Jim Schwartz is used to. That's 4 down linemen, 2 of them on the outside in a 3-point stance, getting wide, getting after the quarterback, 2 inside linebackers that can run side to side, and then you got the nickel secondary. So I think you're seeing Shane Bowen getting a lot of credit, but it's really Jim Schwartz's influence in the background that has really changed how this defense plays. And as you guys mentioned, you got to get after Tyrod Taylor. You got to make him uncomfortable in the pocket, and you can't let Brandon Cooks run around in our secondary, like he's Jerry Rice or something.
That's right. All facts, no paper, man. All facts, no paper. That is very true, man. And that's a great insight upon what it is. And then when you look at our playoff picture, even against the Patriots, so you see here, this is where the playoffs are right now, right? The Titans are right now number 1, of course, in the AFC. The Patriots are trying to creep up. They're the 6th seed. They'll probably win today. But yeah, all of this is important. You know what I mean? This is an AFC game at the end of the day. We need this victory. We really do. So,
right.
Yep.
So, real quick, this is like a bonus. Have y'all heard that there are the coaching list for next year, that Todd Downing and Shane Bowen might be on that coaching list for new head coaches?
No, I haven't heard that.
Yep. They said they were talking about it on the radio. I think yesterday they were talking about it. So potentially, how we lost Arthur Smith. Not saying it'll happen this year, but get ready. If they keep having success like they're having, next year you might lose them. If you lose Shane Bowen, luckily you have a Jim Schwartz in your back pocket where you can elevate him to the defensive coordinator, right? Offensively too. So I think Vrabel's starting to build him a little tree. You got Matt LaFleur, you got Arthur Smith. Now you might potentially have 2 more head coaches. I mean, hey. So just be careful. I know everybody was clowning Todd, like you said, Ken. They were clowning Shane Bowen at the beginning of the season and even last year. But his improvement at the end of the day, he can improve. He's improved so much that it might get him a job. It might get him a head coaching job.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, look, and a lot will come down to how you do in the playoffs, right?
Exactly.
You can't be one and done again. Right.
Correct.
Especially if you go in with the number 1 seed and you got games at home.
Exactly. That's right.
You can't be one and done in the playoffs. And those coaches know that. And I've always maintained, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, I think Arthur Smith kind of knew that he was in line for a job. And I really don't know how much he put into that Baltimore game last year.
That's right. We talked about that in our show. That is a fact.
That offensive game plan last year was
terrible.
Trash.
Terrible.
That was not an Arthur Smith game plan. It looked like he already had, 1 foot out the door. So I'm hoping that's not the case this postseason with these guys, that they have their mind strictly on football and they can try to get this team to the promised land.
That's right. Well, yeah, we think Arthur Smith was at halftime of the playoff game doing an interview at halftime. I think he snuck away, got on a Zoom call, put a suit on real quick, did an interview for the Atlanta Falcons, and got the job. Went back in the second half, was on like, man, I'm thinking about Atlanta right now. I'm not thinking about this game, man. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Right.
No doubt. No doubt.
Anthony, and look like Anthony's heard it as well. So it's starting to make its runs. And like there's a great point, Ken, when you say it's how deep we go to the playoffs. If we go to the AFC Championship, or even the Super Bowl, those 2 are gone. They're out. They're out. You go. Then we're gonna put ourselves in the same hole that we were in at the beginning of the season, trying to figure out, hey, who we're gonna bring in as a new OC and a new DC. But like I said, luckily you have Jim Schwartz in your back pocket. So if Vrabel puts his ego down and say, hey, Jim, you good to go? Take care of that. Because Jim Schwartz is a defensive coach again for the Titans, man.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
No doubt.
So this part of the show, y'all, what we're going to do, we are going to open up the floor for you all to, those in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button, okay? Before we get into this, hit the like button. And as well, too, if you have not subscribed to Ken Moore's show, man, do that now. Check out Ken Moore. Check him out on Twitter. Check him out on YouTube. Make sure to click subscribe as well to his show as well, too. So chop it up, right? The live chop up. So a part of that, of course, is eating at the dinner table. So we chopping up the food and everything, and we want to invite all of you to the dinner table, sitting on that chair there and asking us the questions, man. So, hey, we're going to fire them off. We're going to answer them. We're going to try to get through as many as we can, man. So let's get it.
So the first one comes from Pig Weekly. He says, is anyone going to the away game in Houston? So I know, Ken, you in Houston. Are you going?
Oh, yeah. I'll be there, no doubt.
Okay.
I'll be there. The only reason I didn't go last year, I think that was probably the first game I missed probably in about 10 years was because of COVID. But, yeah, I'll definitely be in the house this year for that one. Cool. Hopefully we'll already have everything wrapped up, the number one seed and all that good stuff. But regardless, I will be in the house. We have a big Tennessee Titans fans in Houston group down here. So if you want to hit me up on Twitter and you want to join us here in Houston for tailgating or whatnot, hanging out, just hit me up on Twitter and you come join the Tennessee Titans fan club in Houston. And we do it up big for the Titans game every year.
Good stuff.
I'm going to put that in my back pocket.
Yep. And Ken, so every year for the past 7 or 8 years, I've gone to one road game with a lot of my friends. There will be a point in time I will come to Houston. Of course, I'll holler at you. You know that.
Likewise.
I got extra room, bro. Come on.
Hey. Salute. Hey, what's up, Maury? Maury, tighten up, Maury. He said, hey, did we sign Derrick Henry to
Derrick Henry to the press?
I tell you, boy, give you every show. Every show. So, Ken, this is a question from you, from Jeremiah. And I know Jeremiah's asked this question. He asks this question to every guest that we have.
Yep.
He asks, Ken Moore, do you think Caleb Farley is a bust?
I hate to use the word bust on a guy that shouldn't have been picked in the first round.
Right.
So my definition of bust is when you pick a guy that should be picked in the first round and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. For instance, if Kyle Pitts of Atlanta doesn't turn into a great player, you can label him a bust because he's a top 5 pick. He's healthy. He's a consensus that he's going to be the next great thing.
Yep.
I was very upset when we drafted Caleb Farley because this is a kid, and I don't put anything against the kid himself, but he's an injury-prone kid. He's an injury-prone football player. And if I know people point to Jeffrey Simmons and blah, 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 that was kind of a one-off injury. He had a knee injury, but he was great before the knee injury, suffered a knee injury. He came back. That does not equate to every player. So I thought that was a terrible pick because you can't have a cornerback that's already hurt with a back.
Right.
And then put him out there on the field. You could tell he wasn't ready to play because he couldn't even tackle anyone. I think it was the Buffalo game where he tore his ACL.
Right.
Yep.
There were guys running all around him. He wasn't ready to play.
That's right.
So technically, he's a bust, but he's not a bust because he sucks as a football player. He's a bust because he's just not physically ready to play. Now, will he be ready in 3 or 4 years? Maybe, maybe not. But he will never live up to the expectations of a number 1 pick because he never should have been drafted in that position anyway, in my opinion.
Understood.
Facts, no paper. Facts, no paper.
Understood.
So there you go. There you go, Jeremiah. Hey, I'm just
Yep.
So we go to the next question. Johnny Donahue says, I already like the show. Salute, appreciate it.
Salute to you, Johnny.
He said at Tennessee Titans Weekly, who would you be more worried about in the playoffs as far as matchup? Ravens, Bills, or hell, even the Chiefs? I'll shoot it to you first, Hawk.
I would say the Patriots. I know that's not one of those options on here. I think New England I think that Bill Belichick has finally found somebody, a quarterback that he can trust, though he's a rookie. It's not so much even the offense, it's their defense, and they can run the football. I think the Patriots. Now, of these three, I'm going to answer the question because that's the question that's being posed. I would say the Bills out of this three. I think the Bills, we've beaten them twice. And I think, one, it depends on where we're playing them. We play them in Buffalo. They might have more fuel in their system to want to beat us because they're home. It's cold and things of that nature. But I think the Bills pose the biggest threat out of these three teams. What about you, Jacques?
For me, if I got to answer the three questions, I mean, you said it. To me, the Bills are going to give you everything they got, right? They got the defense. Their offense is kind of like they can wake up when they want to. You can play them right, but they can still wake up. I think they're a little bit more complete team than the Chiefs and the Ravens. I think the Ravens right now are inconsistent, and the Chiefs, they say they're coming on, but I will determine that when they play Dallas Sunday, so we'll see. So for me, it'll be the Bills. What about you, Ken?
If the Ravens make the playoffs, which I predict right now the Ravens won't make the playoffs. But go check out that schedule. Okay. If the Ravens make the playoffs, that would mean to me that they have righted their wrongs.
Gotcha.
They've won some games that they really shouldn't have won. They beat the Colts. They shouldn't have beat the Colts that game. They came like from 20 points down.
Right.
I don't know how Detroit found a way to lose to them. Yeah. So they really should have 2 more losses on their resume. They have not played consistent football this year. They probably have one of the most difficult schedules down the stretch. So if they make it into the playoffs and they make it to the second or third round of the playoffs, that will tell me that they have fixed their running game. They have fixed their defense. And we know what kind of rivalry they have with us, going all the way back to Ray Lewis and Eddie George. I mean, these two teams hate each other in the playoffs. They bring the best out of each other in the playoffs. So if it got to that point in a divisional round or an AFC championship game, Baltimore would concern me more than Buffalo or Kansas City at this point.
Like it. This is actually a question. Ken, so Clowney Super Bowl ass, and I know Clowney, I'm sorry, bro, but he's with the Browns now. But anyway, Ken, do you think Foreman has a chance at 100 yards this week since we're playing the Texans?
I think he does. Because all it takes is a couple of big runs.
Yep.
I think we're going to try to run the football this week. You guys talked about in the second half when we get leads. Vrabel does not like to go for the jugular. He likes to ground it out. He likes to chew the clock.
That's right.
If we have a 14, 17-point lead midway through the third quarter, he's not going to be dropping Tannehill back to throw the ball. He's going to try to run that rock with Deontay. Now, it may be more total yards from scrimmage because he may capitalize in the passing game. He had a couple of nice catches. On Sunday, he had one across the middle. I was like, wow, Deontay going across the middle, catching the pass.
It was
after the run, and he had a nice screen pass as well. So it may be total yards from scrimmage, but I think he has a good shot at a 100-yard game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. All right. So we'll go to the next one. Ian, salute. He says, what do you think our chances
of Ian? Go ahead, sir.
Getting to the Super Bowl with and without Derrick Henry? So before we get there, I know, shout out to Titan Rossi. He reported this before the news got out. So shout out to you, Rossi. As I watched the show, that Henry actually might be ready to come back, I think, early January. So he might be scaled to come back a little bit earlier. So I'm going to shoot this question to Hawk.
Yes.
If Derrick Henry comes back in January, and I know your answer. We talk about this all the time. I know
exactly.
Talk to us, brother.
But I'll give the people what I've been saying before the season even started in the preseason. And again, I said this, and I've never said this before, because a lot of times when you are a fan, you probably think your team will win the Super Bowl every year. But we're realists, okay? And I knew for a fact that if we had Derrick Henry and if our defense can play at about mid-level, 13th in the league or so in overall ranking, we can win the Super Bowl, okay? And I'm going to stick to that because that's what I believe. We were the number 5 offense in the league last year on offense, okay? And our defense was terrible. So we needed to add some pieces and have a better defense and better coaching, and that has all happened. So with Derrick Henry in January, we can win the Super Bowl. We can. Now, here's the second part of that question. The caveat to that question is, okay, how healthy is Derrick Henry? He could come back, but is he going to be the Derrick Henry the king, or is he going to be the step king? Right? We don't know yet. Okay, because he's coming back from an injury to his right foot. That's his heel. That's his go button. That's his turbo button. Right? That's his gas pedal. Right? On the car. So it depends on how healthy he is. If he's healthy with Derrick Henry and he's back to the king, we're winning the Super Bowl. Without Derrick Henry, we are not winning the Super Bowl. We need Derrick Henry. Our offense is skating by right now. Our defense is doing their best to hold fort as much as they can. But eventually, that's going to open up sometimes. You're going to have a bad defensive game, and it can happen in the playoffs. We need Derrick Henry.
What about you, Ken?
Can we? Mm-hmm. Yes, we can. Obviously, a healthy Derrick Henry is better than an unhealthy Derrick Henry or no Derrick Henry at all. The key for me in winning a Super Bowl is that you have to have someone opposite A.J. Brown that you can depend on. You need that beast number 2, Julio Jones, to show up in the playoffs and show out. You have to have a complimentary number 2. I think you can get by with D'Onta Foreman if D'Onta Foreman continues to get his endurance up, if he continues to gain confidence, and that offensive line starts to open up some holes. I think he can do a decent enough impersonation of Derrick Henry in the running game. But you're going to have to depend on, Marcus Johnson. I love Marcus Johnson. Fast, went to UT, University of Texas, not Tennessee.
That's good. That is good. Wow, that's great. You're right. That's right.
I got my hooker boys.
I got you, man.
Foreman and Marcus Johnson. Man.
That's right. That's right.
So if my hooker boys can take care of business, but I really think Julio Jones has to come back healthy the second half of the season. He's off for the next 2 games, and then he's got a bye week. He's got to be that guy in the playoffs opposite A.J. Brown, because A.J. Brown has not been the A.J. Brown that we've had the previous 2 seasons. And I think that's part of Ryan Tannehill's struggles. You don't have an explosive tight end like Jonnu Smith anymore.
Who New England hates, by the way.
Oh, they hate him?
They do.
Wow.
He's a little overpaid and underproducing. Hunter Henry is their best tight end right now by far. But Tannehill does not have those explosive targets on the outside. AJ is not an over-the-top threat right now just due to his injuries and, whatever's going on. He doesn't have confidence in his hands right now. So, in my opinion, if you get a healthy Julio Jones back, who can be a 1B to 1A A.J. Brown, to me, those 2 are the key. I think defense is going to be solid. I think the defense is going to be solid. I mean,
them boys right here. Them boys right there.
300.
Them boys right there.
I love it.
That 300.
Yep.
Yes, sir. TWA. And I called them today on Twitter. I said, how about the Music City Monsters?
I like that.
I called the radio station and said the Bullies of Broadway. I said that this morning. Yep.
Bullies of Broadway.
They were throwing out names out there. Yep.
Yeah, throwing out names. But I think the defense is going to be solid the rest of the year. I don't worry about the defense, but I worry about the passing game. We get the passing game on track. I think the Titans can do it, bro.
So I agree with both of y'all. And as Julio said it at the beginning of the season, it's going to take 2, 11, and 22. Putting it all together. I think not just having Henry, but winning like how they've been winning now as a team. And like you said, Ken, bringing back Julio, and then you bring back Henry. Once you have those added pieces, it opens it up. So not just Henry. And I've always been on that train. I don't like how they ran him. I don't like how you keep running him, and depend on him. That's what ultimately lost us that game in the playoffs against the Ravens, because they stopped Henry, who was your number 2, right? Like you said, AJ tried, but he threw it to Khalif Raymond. I'm like, come on now, what are you doing? So for me, I think
bothers me to this day, man. Go ahead,
right?
You know that pisses me off.
I know.
Yep.
So to me, it's gonna take a team effort to win the Super Bowl. It's just and like you said, the defense is rolling. it's just once you get those pieces back, it's just added sauce to the gumbo that we ate last week when we played the Who Dat Nation. You know what I mean? So definitely. But we're gonna go to the next question. Rashid Majid says,
you see all the comments about the name of the defense? I see there's some good names in there. Go ahead with the Rashid comment. Go ahead.
He said, what loss do y'all predict? I'm gonna go to you first, Ken. What loss do you see us losing another one, or what you talk to me?
Yeah, I got man, that Patriot game next week is gonna be tough. One, because let's assume we beat Houston, right? It's the game before the bye week. The game before the bye week is always tough, man. It's like, you know, it's like your last day of work before you go on vacation. Mm-hmm. You know, that Friday before you go on before you take that Vegas trip, you checked out, bro.
Checked out.
You got the flights ready. You got the reservations. You're ready to go. You like, shoot, at lunchtime, I'm out. You know, so that game next week against the Patriots, man, that's the one that really worries me. And it's not so much about the Patriots themselves, because this was early in the season when I was kind of doing my thing and I looked at the schedule. And this is before the Patriots even started winning games. I was like, that's a schedule loss because you didn't play 12 straight games. And now you finally can see, hey, I got a break right after this, you know. So I think the Patriots is going to be a tough game. San Francisco could be a tough game because they're starting to round in the form a little bit. They beat up the Rams last week. That may be a must win for them when they come in here. I think that's Christmas week. That's another Christmas. I'm at home. You know, you got the kids and all that other kind of stuff going on.
That's right.
So that could be another distraction game, especially if you're sitting 12-3 or something like that at that point. So those are the two games I work. Pittsburgh could be problematic as well. But you know, I don't trust their quarterback situation too much. I think our defense can overwhelm Ben Roethlisberger and those guys. But I would say the Patriots for sure, and San Francisco at home Christmas week. That may be a Thursday night game. I'm not even sure. I'd have to look at the schedule, but that game kind of worries me a little bit.
Yeah, gotcha, man.
What about you, Hawk?
Definitely the Patriots game. I think that could be a definite loss for us. I think that, you know, New England is going to pose a threat because, again, they can run the ball and they play great on defense. And I think those are all recipes for a team for us that still have a lot of injuries. And I would like for them. Can they win every game? Yes, it's possible. But I do think the Patriots will be one of those games. On the flip side, you know, I think that we'll win a good amount of games where we can start resting players towards the end of the season as well, too. Now, again, it depends on other teams, how much they win as far as like the Patriots and those that try to vie for the number one spot. So we're all still fighting tooth and nail to try to get there. Then that might be the only loss. I think a trap game that we have to be careful is the Jacksonville Jaguars, because the Jaguars defense is really good. Okay. They're playing better. I watched the Colts and Jags game. Offensively, they struggle, but defensively, they're pretty good. So, you know, that could be a game. You got to be a bit careful, but Pittsburgh, I have confidence that we can beat the Steelers. I do. I initially thought that Miami Dolphins could be a trap game too. We got to watch the Dolphins as well too, because defensively, you throw the ball on them, them boys are some ball hawks out there. So those are the games there for me, man.
For me, I think the Patriots. I told Hawk this the other day. I'm kind of worried about the Patriots because of how they're playing. And I've told Hawk this too at the beginning of the season. Don't count out Bill Belichick. Don't never count him out. As long as he's coaching, don't never count him out. Now, when he stops coaching, then you can kind of say, okay, the Patriots, but as long as he's coaching, he's going to figure it out. And his defense came back because a lot of his defensive players opted out last year because of C-19.
Right.
A lot of them did. A lot of them come back. They added to the pot as well. So they're playing real good on defense to the point where Matt Jones doesn't have to do too much, right? And Josh McDaniels is drawing up perfect scheme for him, just specifically for him, where he doesn't make that many mistakes and he takes advantage of his opportunities. Now, is it a winnable game? Yes, but I just think the way the offense is now, I just don't think we have enough pieces just to get it going, especially in the receiving game. And if AJ doesn't wake up and they take him away, then you asking other people to step up. And I just don't think we got it. But defensively, I think we'll be fine. Matter of fact, I have that game being a low-scoring game, because of the defenses. Both defenses are kind of built the same. And if you get pressure on Matt Jones, you got him. But that's a whole different show. So we'll go to the next question.
And also, for those in the comment section, hit that like button.
Yes, sir. What Hawk said.
And also, you all put in the comment as well, as far as a game or games in the rest of the season that we do have, that you all feel that could be a loss for us as well, too. You know what I mean? If you all think we're not going to lose a game, say that, too. You know?
Right. Yep. I like the confidence. Pig Weekly asked, he said, how comfortable are you guys with our tight end group? Ken, talk to me. Are you comfortable with it? From a scale of 1 to 10, one being the worst, 10 being the best.
Nah, bro. Put me down for about a 2.5
right.
on the tight end game. I have to say Greg Swain has gotten better as the season has gone. Man, I was on the Greg Swain hate group. I was like,
me too, man.
Man.
I thought the same thing too, man. Like, cut this joker.
Yeah, he couldn't block, man. Yeah. I mean, he was getting Derrick Henry killed earlier.
Yes, he was. Man. He was.
But he's shown some hands, and he's been able to get. He still can't block very well, but at least he's shown some receiving skills. I don't know what happened the first year this year. I thought he was going to be tight end 1 after you let Jonnu go, because he was a very good third down receiver.
That's right.
The last couple of years, and
that's right.
I don't know what's happened to him this year. Mikhail Pruitt does not get enough action for me. I don't understand why, because he's a big athletic tight end. He doesn't drop the football. So I don't know why he's relegated to third tight end status. But I think Mikhail Pruitt should be getting a lot more action. So
gotcha.
I'm not a big fan of the tight end group. We'll see.
Gotcha. So we got 57 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button. We have had comments. Mark Jones said, hey, we're going to win out and get the number 1 seed. Johnny Donahue said 49ers and Patriots is a 50-50. Everyone else below that. Okay, gotcha, man. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, interesting.
What about you, Hawk? Tight ends?
No confidence in them whatsoever. It's to me, it's been the tight end of the week. So one game, one tight end does decent. No one's balled out, but one week it might be Mikhail Pruitt. Next week is Swain. Next week is Ferkser, right? Ferkser has been the most underperforming of the tight ends, in my opinion, right? And he's supposed to be tight end 1. And what's weird about Ferkser, and I had my concerns before the season started about the tight end position. I never was like, oh, man, we are straight at tight end. We're good. We are straight. But when we brought in Julio Jones, you brought in players like Marcus Johnson and those type of guys where I felt that, hey, the tight end will be open, just be available and catch the football. But for some reason, that hasn't happened all season. Like the most catches we might get from a tight end is 3 in a game. And Mikhail Pruitt will be the guy that'll score a touchdown. So in the future, yes, we need a draft. We need a draft high for a tight end because I think that's going to really help our offense. Because you saw how it was when Delaney Walker was on the field, right? He was a problem, right? The way our offense runs, the tight end could be successful. We don't have a lot of talent. And I thought Swain would be a blocking / receiving tight end. He can't block. He's a big joker, can't block. He's not fast. He can catch. But I'm like, I thought like he needs to be cut. I thought the same thing. But I 1 out of 10, I'm a 3.
So Walter Tate asks, he says, with Jayon and Rashawn probably being gone next year because of David Long and Monty Rice, do y'all think we'll be able to keep Harold Landry? Wait, talk to me, Hawk. Do you think we will?
It will help. It will help from a bottom line standpoint when it comes to dollars, right? Because Rashawn Evans and Jayon Brown are both going to ask more than what they're getting paid this year. So I think yes, we will be able to sign Harold Landry. I really do. And I think we can be able to work out a deal even with Taylor Lewan and those guys as well. I would like to keep them all because I like all of these guys, but every year you have to make tough decisions based on the salary cap. The better your team, the better your players overplay. Like Harold Landry, he has more sacks this season he's had in any season in his career. He already has that now, right? He's his 3rd leading sacker in the NFL. Every sack he makes, that's more than enough money coming up on his contract, right? That's another $100,000. That's another $300,000 to my contract next year. So yes, I think it'll help us.
Hey, what about you, Ken?
Yeah, I think we have to keep Harold, right? If you have to franchise tag him, you have to franchise tag him. You can't keep letting talent walk out the door.
That's right.
High-end talent. Now, could you lose Rashawn Evans? Yeah, you can lose Rashawn because you got Monty Rice and you got David Long. I would want to bring Jayon Brown back because I think you need three. You need a nice three-man rotation that inside linebacker position. You don't want to be down to just two, and then you're trying to figure out who the other two are. So I think Jayon will probably be back. I don't expect Rashard to be back. I think he's going to be too expensive. As a former number one pick, he's going to be too expensive to keep. But absolutely, you got to find a way to keep Harold Landry. That's what you draft guys for, is to be the best in the league at their position. And he's one of the top 3 or 4 at his position now.
That's correct.
He should be paid accordingly. And that's why you lose some high-end talent that makes a lot of money, because you got to replace them with guys that are worth it. So you got to pay somebody, and Harold Landry, he hit the jackpot this year.
He did. Jacques, what about for you, man?
I mean, like y'all saying, we have to keep him. I say franchise tag him, because I mean he's part of the trifecta of the front four that's getting pressure to the quarterback. And you lose one of them, are you saying Rashawn Weaver can come in and do the same thing and have the same production? I don't know, right? So you want to keep that chemistry there. You want to keep that chemistry there. Keep the chemistry there, and you got to figure it out. If you got to get rid of Rashaan Evans, which he's done okay, but to me he hasn't been the breakout player that he was supposed to be in a contract year. So I think you afford to lose him with Monty Rice is kind of coming up in that phase where he can do some good things. He has potential. In the way David Long is playing, I mean, you're pretty solid at running at linebacker. I just think you need one more. To me, I like a playmaking linebacker that's real good in coverage that you can add to that piece. So I say bring back Jayon for depth, franchise Harold, and try to at least get you a good playmaking linebacker in that. So
that's right. Well, we'll take a few more questions, y'all, in the comment section. As always, guys, you all bring it. The questions that we see are awesome. So you all are definite Titan fans, know the team to the core, man. That's great stuff, man.
Tony, to answer your question, it's a real quick question. No, he's out for 3 weeks. So you won't see him until after the bye. Maybe. Who do we play? Who would he play after the bye?
Is it Jacksonville?
Yes, the Jags. Yes, we play the Jags.
Okay.
So if we can win ball games without Julio, man, keep him rested, man.
I agree.
But we need him, though. We need him.
Keep him in bubble wrap.
Right. Yep. Derrick Henry will be back. So Damon says Derrick Henry will be back to San Francisco. I don't think I will bring him back for the San Francisco game. I think
that's before Christmas now.
Yeah, I'll keep him on ice. Just, I mean, even if I think, is it Lawrence from the Cowboys? I think he had the same injury.
Right.
And he's on the field doing like field work a little bit. So they're keeping him on ice. So Derrick will be back. It's just, do you run the risk of playing him and have him re-injure it, or do you have him chill? Right. So definitely. Mark says we winning out. He said 15-2. Ravens wants to beat Belichick. And I can see that. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if we won. It wouldn't surprise me if we lost. But they're part of the gauntlet too, because I mean we got the toughest. I think the toughest strength of schedule. I think the Titans have the number one. We hold the strength of schedule from everybody else in the AFC. So I think that helps out when it comes to the number one seed and all that. So Jeremiah,
and the good thing about it is we have, and that's what's so great about the team, is that we've weathered that storm of those tough games, these last 5 games, right? And realistically speaking, the back end of our schedule is favorable. Other teams like the Ravens, the Colts, their schedule, even the Chiefs, their schedules are like, woo, right? They got to go through it. We've been through it, and we won every game. That's amazing.
Right. So Stanley Wilson says, what up, Ken? Jock, Hawk, tighten up from Memphis. It's scary as hell here right now.
I'm sure.
I bet, man. It's my bet. RIP to Dolph, man. So definitely, I understand. Y'all be safe out there if you're in Memphis. Please be safe, our Titan family.
And a lot of my family's from Memphis. My wife's from Memphis, so I know about the M-Town. I was just in Memphis 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So
he said,
what's the vibe up there, man? Like,
man, don't go to Memphis. That's all I got to say. Don't go to Memphis right now. Don't go. Bro. Stay away from Memphis until at least a couple of weeks, maybe a month for everything to die down. So, hey, be safe, Stanley. Be safe. He says, but anywho, do we keep Jayon Brown Evans at linebacker? What y'all think? Do we keep him?
Yeah. If he talking about for the rest of the year, I mean, David Long is the entrenched starter at one of those spots for the rest of the year.
That's
and
right.
then you got Brown or Evans, kind of rotating, and then you got Monty Rice, who's more of a special teams guy at this point. But obviously, we saw the great job that he did last week. If you're talking about going forward, that's what we just talked about. I think Rashard Evans is going to be the odd man out at the end of the season.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right. What about you, Rob?
Well, I don't know, man. Is the question more about who should we start of these linebackers? Because they'll be here for the rest of the season. So,
right. But should we keep them for next year? So Stanley said next year. So
next year, okay. So yeah. I would say I would like to, but I don't think contractually we'll be able to keep all those linebackers. And so if I had to let one go based on money and talent, it would be Rashaan Evans. Mm-hmm. So yep. So I'd like to keep him because I think there's more. He'll mess around, go somewhere else, and ball out. So somebody will figure him out because he is a monster at linebacker. He just hadn't been figured out yet. But
put him on the line. Yep,
he's more DN.
He's a DN, man. Put him on the line. I think he'll thrive. Definitely.
That's right.
Definitely. Mari says, do you believe Julio is a bust? I know they said we brought him in for the playoffs, but we need him in the regular season production to lead to playoff production. Do y'all guys think he's a bust?
He would qualify, yeah.
Yeah. Based on contract.
You gave up a second and a fourth, I think.
Yep.
Second and a fourth.
He's making $15 million.
You gave up draft capital. So, so yes, at this point, the story isn't written yet. Let's see what happens. In money time, but to this point,
yes.
Right.
He has been he's getting paid $15 million to be playing 35% of the games. Yes,
right. I agree. Team leader says Weaver shouldn't be forgotten. No, Weaver is going to be a solid player. Let me say that Weaver is going to be a hell of a outside linebacker. And my thing is, does he provide that replacement value that you would get if you let Harold Landry go? He probably will because of Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, and Bud Dupree, and how they eat. It might allow him to eat too, but I just feel like I would like to keep the band together. I don't want the band to split.
Yep. Okay. I see we got a lot of Memphis comments in there.
Oh yeah, man.
Hey. Young Dolph, killed in South Memphis. Yeah, we heard about that, man. Saw the story and things, man. So be safe in the M-Town, folks.
Yes.
I see Keisha says she works in the trauma unit in Memphis. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Be safe.
Be safe. That's what I'm saying. Stay. As Stan says, stay
North
away.
Memphis is no joke. The North ain't no joke neither. We say, Jacques.
Stay away from South Memphis. That's where you're from. Stay away from the South.
That's right.
I hope.
Hey, you can kick it in Memphis. Though. I was just there.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot you can do in Memphis, and plus you go to Mississippi to gamble a little bit. I mean, I know all about Memphis, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my
Maine. What up, Maine?
The only thing that makes me confident about the Patriots game is because of variable of any wins this season. The one I believe he wants the most is against Belichick, and he has shown that in the past. You know what? I will agree with that. Like when we played him in the playoffs, we played a hell of a game in the playoffs, and I know we had Derrick Henry, but coaching played a lot of part in that. And I feel like Vrabel does have that on Vrabel where he out coaches Belichick from time to time. So hopefully you're right, man. If you're right,
I think he's undefeated against Belichick.
He is undefeated.
He is.
So like 3-0, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
3-0.
Yep. So like you guys say, that may be like a 16-13 slugfest next week, man.
Right.
That.
Yep. And the thing too that people think that Mike Vrabel's under the Belichick tree. He isn't.
Right.
He just played for Belichick. He's never coached under Belichick. He was the defensive coordinator in Houston. You know what I mean? So he was never under the Belichick umbrella. So
he wasn't good.
They say that a lot. What's that?
And he wasn't good in Houston either.
He wasn't. I agree.
I know.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim Myers, he says Ken, best Titan rookie. I guess he's talking about this year.
Oh, man, that's a good question. The number 1 pick, nope. Number 2 pick,
nope.
Wow.
Ooh, boy.
I know.
We've done better.
Monty Rice.
I got one. What's his name?
Molden.
Molden. Okay, yeah.
He started since what? Week 3, maybe. So Molden, if I got to pick, to me, Molden is the best out of all this rookie.
Somebody said Christian Fultz is not a rookie. It's his second year. So it seems like he's a rookie since he missed most of last year.
Right.
But it's Molden. It's Molden.
Hands down.
But that doesn't say a lot, y'all. If you think about it, right? It doesn't, because the past 2 or 3 years, our first few rounds of picks have not panned out well at all. Our later round picks and our free agents have been better than our early round picks. That's what's crazy.
What if I said every year, Hawk, about our first round pick? What should we do?
Trade it.
I've said it every year. Trade out of it. Get more draft capital. Trade it, because for some reason, like you said, our first round picks. You can maybe say Jeffrey Simmons. I think he fell into our lap. But Rashaan Evans has given you some good productivity, but he's kind of digressed. But you're right, and that's my thing is second through maybe seventh round is when we get our bread and butter, especially through like third and the fourth and the fifth pick. And fourth round, third round, fourth round, and fifth round be our bread and butter. And I don't know.
Like, look at our free agents: Naquan Jones, Nick Westbrook-Akina, right? T.R. Tart. These guys start. You know, they start. Chris Jackson was a 7th round pick. Like, these guys, the later picks in the draft and the undrafted free agents have been better than our drafted early players. It's crazy.
Right.
So,
we'll take one or two more questions, y'all.
Go ahead. Just reached too much early on, man. We reached for guys early on, and I think the success of Jeffrey Simmons kind of gave us a false sense. We can reach and take this guy and reach and Isaiah Wilson and all that kind of stuff, man. I mean, and those are the things that will come back to bite you not now.
I say that
2 or 3 years.
I say that all the time.
It's gonna come back to bite you, because now you got to redraft those same positions again to try to get them solidified. When you really should be drafting, okay, let me go find a running back to replace Derrick Henry down the road. Let me go find a quarterback in the first or second round to sit behind Ryan Tannehill. Let me go find an offensive lineman that can sit behind Taylor Lawrence. You got to redraft all those guys all over again, or you have to go overpay for them in free agents.
Facts.
Right.
Ken, I say that all the time. I say that all the time about the draft. It is huge. Most teams who win historically have great drafts that win every year, right? The teams that make the playoffs every year is because they've had great draft picks. We don't see it now because the drafts that we've had, the Derrick Henrys and the Jeffrey Simmons, they're in their prime right now. They're balling. But once they fade and we got these younger players and they're none available, then it's like, oh my gosh, we do not become a good football team. It will eventually happen. It's going to happen at some point. Based on our missed picks in the draft. The draft is extremely important.
I like what they did in free agency this year, though. That makes up for this draft by going out and getting Nico Autry and Bud Dupree and improving your defense as well. So with the draft, I look at it this way. The first 10 picks, you're going to hit. You're going to probably hit. Where we've been picking each year, 22, 23, 24, 20, it's hard to gauge that. It's hard to say, hey, we're going to hit right here in the first round. We're going to hit this. I wanted Rashad Bateman from where did he go? Minnesota, I think.
The Ravens.
The Ravens got him. He's been okay, right? This year's draft class, Matt Jones has been doing pretty solid. Jamar Chase has been cool, but we didn't have no shot at those. Where do we have a shot to go up and get them? I mean, you can arguably say, hey, we can trade up and get those guys. I would like John Robinson to actually do that. Trade up and get your guy, right? Get better talent. But I agree with you with the draft, man. What do we do?
The thing for me is it's okay if you get an okay player, right? At 22, 23, 28, whatever.
Right.
You can't have a zero.
Right, exactly.
Right?
A zero.
Isaiah Wilson is a zero.
Zero.
Caleb Farley is a zero. You can't have zeros in the first round.
Exactly.
That's hard to do in football. That's hard to do in back-to-back drafts.
Trade out of
zero in the first round, man.
And look at our right tackle. Look at our right tackle situation now, right? We keep just having different players every game at right tackle because that's where Isaiah Wilson was supposed to be, right? Caleb Farley, we're signing people, trying to do as much as we can to sort of succumb and overcome that, right? Because that's that's what it is. So
we should have kept Kelly. You should have kept Dennis Kelly.
Well,
Just saying.
I always maintain you shouldn't have never left Jack Conklin.
And that too, exactly.
That was the worst move, and that was the worst move.
Facts, no paper, Ken.
Right.
Facts, no paper. You should have kept Jack Conklin. I don't care how much you had to pay him. You could have tagged him. You could have did something. But that's where you really messed up right there, was letting him go, because you had to do the Isaiah Wilsons and stuff like that.
And so Conklin was a first round pick. He was a top 7 pick in the draft.
Yeah. And he was productive. He's productive with Cleveland. He just keep getting hurt, but he's productive with Cleveland. He's helped them out. So I agree. Trade out of it. That's all I'll say. Trade out the first round pick.
I agree with you.
Trade out of it. Trade out of it. Because you ain't gonna have no zeros then, because you'll get draft capital. You either trade up or trade down. Trade your pick. Get your second round and fourth round pick. I'll take it where we don't pick day one. I'm cool with it.
I agree. I agree with you there.
That's right.
Think about this, and then we can wrap up. Our second round picks, each second round pick that we've had has been productive. AJ Brown, Christian Fulton, Derrick Henry, right?
Yep.
For some reason, this second round with Dylan Radins, and we didn't like the pick. Me and Hawk talked about it. We didn't like the Isaiah Wilson pick. We didn't like the Dylan Radins pick. We didn't like the Dez Fitzpatrick pick. But I'm like, okay, let's try. But literally, they usually hit on the second round pick. So. But my philosophy, trade out of it, because y'all don't hit on it well anyway. If I'm a betting man, trade out of it.
Especially where you draft, right? Late in the first round. You know what I mean? If you can get some more capital for that, do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the show, y'all. As always, y'all, thank you for participating in the show. As always, we put up as many comments as we can. That fuels the show, because you guys are throwing out some great questions and great thoughts. That's not pre-planned. We don't know what's going to be asked. So for us, that sparks our brain, and we love it. You know what I'm saying? And so we also want to give a shout out again to Ken Moore. Ken Moore bringing the fire tonight. You know what I'm saying? With the Warren Moon jersey in the background as well. H-Town, H-Town down. You know what I'm saying? So Ken, you want to, talk more about your show and everything, man, before we end the show?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. This was a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I always love all the love that you guys give me, whenever I'm on the show in the Titan family, man. I really, really appreciate that. Coming up this weekend for me, like I said, on Saturday afternoon, I'll be doing the Texas Southern TSU game against Alabama State. That game will be on ESPN Plus, 2:00. If you guys want to check that out. And then my show will return in December, Titans the day after. Check me out at K Moore Sports on YouTube. Hop on over there after this show. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that notification bell so you know when the shows come on. Typically on Monday nights around right around this time. Right around this time on Monday nights is usually when I have my show. And then I also have a preview show on Sunday mornings, usually around 10:30. I'll go over the inactive report and things like that to get you guys set for the day's action. So my show will return in December once my college football responsibilities are done. You can also follow me on Twitter at KMoore Sports and on Instagram at Kenmore Sports. So if you guys will hop over to those platforms, hit that subscribe button, I really appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Dude, we appreciate you being on the show, man. We'll do this again. You know what I mean? And we'll return the favor if needed as well, too. You know what I mean? So we do appreciate it. We really do.
Yes, sir.
And Ken, I'm gonna check you out. You said ESPN 2
Plus.
Okay, I'm gonna check you out.
We will check you out.
Check you out, definitely. And like you said, once again, appreciate you, brother, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, man. Yep. Hey, this has been a long time coming. I've been waiting to do this show with Mr. Ken Moore. So salute, brother.
Absolutely.
Hey, knowledge is dope. And happy birthday to Warren Moon also. So, hey.
No doubt. My boy turned 65 today.
Wow.
Officially a senior citizen, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow,
I used to watch that dude, growing up in the dome, man. I'm like, dang, Warren 65 makes me feel old.
I understand, man.
Doubt.
Understood.
But now, man, you guys have a great show. I love the energy. I love the passion. And I'm going to get up there for a game. I don't know if I'm going to make it up this year. I'm hoping to make one this year. If I don't make one this year, I will definitely be in Nashville next year. hanging out with you guys live.
Man, let us know, man. Real talk. Let us know. We will be around. Believe that. So
for all the Tennessee Titans fans, if you're coming down to Houston for the game, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram, and we'll hook up.
Good stuff. So to close out, for those that are on Instagram, as always, you can check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. Ken Moore, you want to say your Instagram handle real quick?
Ken Moore Sports. So my name, Ken Moore Sports.
Good stuff. Also on Twitter, Titans Weekly 24/7. Ken Moore for you.
K Moore Sports.
Good stuff. And also as well, we do have a podcast on Apple and Spotify as well. So you can check us out there on Apple and Spotify. We have a show that we do, and it's called Talking Titans with the Homies. So, it gives you a whole new perspective with other podcasters as well. It's a great show. Check us out, man. Check us out.
Definitely. Like I said, every show. Subscribe to Ken Moore Sports. Subscribe to Tennessee Titans Weekly. And, hey, ultimately, let's go home, get this victory. I'll be at the game Sunday, so if anybody's there, I've seen a comment from what's his name, so I'll definitely ping you, bro, and let you know I'm at the game. Have a good time, but hey, let's tighten up. Let's get this win against Houston, and let's get ready for these Patriots, and let's do what we do, man. So salute, Ken, one more time. Appreciate it.
Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, man, with the fam and everybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody stay safe.
Absolutely. 9-2, here we come, man. Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Memphis, y'all stay up, baby. Y'all stay safe.
Right. Stay safe.
Absolutely. Well, to you and yours and everybody, we hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend. And Jacques, as we always say, good sir. Facts.
No paper.